Hello everyone and welcome back to Pearls Performance. Last week you see us diagnosed the hard starting issue, managed to get that sorted. It was a broken wire and a cam sensor, so thank God that's done. Today we're going to be going through all of the small niggles. We're talking the window regulators. I need to now diagnose a misfire. Great. We're also going to be doing the boot struts and diagnosing the wheel bearing. So let's get it up in the air and let's get going. Right, so she's up in the air. Let's go around and we're going to diagnose which wheel bearing is making it sound like there's a jet engine inside the vehicle. So let's go. So, first thing you want to do when diagnosing the wheel bearing is you want to feel for play. Got a little knock there, but that could be a lower arm. And then finally you want to give it a spin and listen. This one's all good, so we know it's not that one. We come around here and do the same thing again. We're going to feel for play. A little knock there, but that could be outer or inner track rod end. And this one's good. Then we step around here. We're going to feel for play. That's solid. This one's good. So that means it has to be this one. Straight away. There's the play. I don't know if the mic's going to be picking that up, but yep. So there we go. That's that diagnosed. Right. So it looks like I'm going to have to order an offside rear wheel bearing. Lovely job because they're bolt on. Perfect. Let's drop it down. So let's change out these boot struts next. As you can see, that is not what we want. So I'm going to have to get my broom to prop this up. If we can get it in there. Just like that. Wonderful. These are quite a simple job. There's a clip on the top, a clip on the bottom, and they should just pull off. I do have some laying about. They're not made for this car, but they're a similar size. So for a temporary fix, we're gonna fit them. If they work, great. If not, more money to spend, but not a problem. Trusty out. They might be built on. They might be built on. So it turns out we can't do the boot struts at the minute. I'm going to have to order them because on the 350Z they're actually a bolt-on unit, whereas you know things like BMWs and stuff, they use like a two-clip method. You pop the clips, they pop off with like a little ball joint. Not this, they're bolt-on. So I'll get them ordered as well. But for now, I'm going to have to take the inlet back off and diagnose this misfire. Pretty sure it's a coil pack, but we're going to have to take it apart to find out. So let's get stuck in. One strut brace removes. Now the fun begins. Start digging deeper. Pretty much everything on these Nissans are 10mm. So I normally just do it in a nice clockwork pattern, crack everything off. And just work your way around. Right, now we've got all them cracked, the best thing to do is remove your hoses and your ancillaries and things like that whilst it's still bolted down. Otherwise you'll sort of be chasing it about when it's loose, you know. So now, bracket, intake pipe, vac hoses, all that's coming off. Remove the top cover, and these inlet plenums are actually in two pieces. So you take the top off and then you got to undo the bottom half. So let's get this off. If it ever gets stuck like that, a little tip, get yourself a flat-headed screwdriver. Remember, no stabbing motions, you do this nice and slow and controlled. You go between, and what you want to do is you want to break the seal, just like that. And then, theoretically, it should pull off. Voila, clear. MAF sensor, move that out of the way because this really has to come out of the way, all of this. So now we're going to need a 10mm again to undo this clamp, an 8mm to undo this clamp, all of this assembly away, that 10mm there. Yeah, let's get on it. There we go. That comes out just like that. Let's get these on, it's getting a bit dirty for me now. Try and save my hands. Right, swap over to the 8mm. Get this undone. And I will stress on the bottom of these, there's either like a recirc pipe or a vacuum pipe what goes to them. I'll show you what I mean when I take it off. You can see here, easily forgotten about. And that's it. Another bit off. Let me just make sure I've cracked all of them as we're chasing. Save some time. A little bit vertically challenged, so we have to get up on it. This comes off. You want to keep them separate, these bolts, the bracket bolts, and just move that out of the way. Get yourself your pliers or your grips, circlip pliers, whatever you use. And off it comes. Just check the rest of the bolts. See, there's one I missed because I'm, as I say, vertically challenged. Do not lose these. Otherwise you'll have air leaks and it won't run right. Some are different sizes as well, so I like to put them all in groups. I like to do all of the outside first because they're all the same size except for the two nuts obviously. And then I do the top ones, and little hint, the back ones are slightly longer than the front. I had to figure that out on my own, but yeah, the back ones are longer, including one over here. They're all the same length, 4, and then 3 slightly shorter, but still longer than the ones that are around the outside. So I always do these ones last and keep them separate.
It's like ASMR. Yeah.
So it's about, isn't it? For those of you that have noticed as well, before I was filming videos myself, we now have George. Say hello, George.
Hello.
And George is going to be with us filming and taking this channel to the next level, hopefully, because I'm absolutely useless at that sort of stuff. So
you did well.
He's just being kind. He criticised my videos. He said they're rubbish. So he's come along to save me.
Doing what I did best.
Right, now as I say, these are now the longer ones. You've got one by the throttle, or the throttle position sensor. You just will take that one out first, which is one of the longer ones. And I always keep these separate. So that'll go that side. As you can see, a lot longer than the others. But you keep them. Another 3 at the back, all the same length as that one. And then finally, the 3 at the front, which are slightly shorter, but again, still longer than the perimeter or outside bolts, if that's what you want to say. So that's all the bolts out. Now what you want to do before you start yanking on it is just check. Because, you know, sometimes impatience can cost you money. So just check everything. We're on the outside. All of the pipes are off. So that looks like it's good to come off. Right, now it exposes the next section, which is these 2 hoses here. So again, get yourself a nice pair of pliers, circlip pliers, whatever you use. Get the clamps off. It's safe to remove. There's one. All those. Might be coolant. And the same again there. A little bit fiddly, a little bit awkward, but you know, any DIY should be able to do that really. And then last but not least is your throttle position sensing plug, which is simple. You just push down on the tab. Can be a little bit stiff, but not impossible. And off she comes. And that is 1/2 of the plenum off. Right, so now you've got to top it off. It exposes obviously the gaskets, which you have to be really careful with. Unfortunately, I've noticed that mine has been pinched, so probably will need replacing. I will try and use it because I don't like spending money, so we'll try and save that. But next step I always like to do again is go around the outsides, removing your brackets, anything like this, or I think these are called a fuel pulsation unit. Remove that, and then work your way to the middle, and the whole unit should lift off. There is one pipe here, so let's do that first actually. So we'll get that off. Wonderful. Really, these pipes here are a little bit stiff, so what I like to do is I'll take the clamp off under everything else, then as I lift that, I can then negotiate it off of the pipe, you know. So let's go around the outside. Don't forget these nuts as well. I mean, all the rest are bolts, but you've got one at the front, little 10mm, same as everything else, and one right at the back, which we have to get up on here for to undo, which is there, because I missed that one the first time I took these off. So let's get that undone, and then put these to a separate side. So these are the top nuts and bolts, and over here will be the second half nuts and bolts. Again, you can do it exactly how you like to do it. It's just, you know, I like to have things organized, makes it easier to go back, easier to remember. Things don't get lost, because that would be a ball ache. Try not to drop them. There we go, get the nuts off. And then again, bracketry. Wasn't even tight, lovely. I might have already cracked it, I can't remember. So I always keep the bracketry separate as well, just because they're an odd size and sometimes it can throw you off, especially if you're new to this sort of thing. Obviously, if you're an experienced mechanic, you know what you're doing, you can probably just tell me to shut up. So now that's free. That's now out the way. That, flip it over, get it out the way. That's off. We have an 8mm here as well. Another little bit of bracketry. You must remember where that one goes, because it's the only 8mm on it really. I also like to take this off, especially for when going back together. As you can see, it's happened in the past. It gets pinched between the two halves of the plenum, and then obviously, you know, you're gonna have a massive air leak. So I always take this off and just put that out of the way until everything's back together. Obviously fill your hole back up with your cap. Right, check around the outsides. So we know that pipe's got to come off. All of that's undone. The nut at the back's undone, nut at the front's undone. Everything under there is clear. Everything's clear. Back to a 10mm. Now the fun begins. Taking these off. Again, I like to undo these in some sort of star pattern. It might not be necessary, but I just like to do it anyway, as it's good practice. And it eliminates any possible air leaks as best it can, really. Really, if you are doing this job, you're probably best off getting new gaskets and stuff. But where it's a metal gasket, as long as there's no obvious breaks or bad kinks or bends, you will get away with using it again. You know, so you haven't got to panic. And this is sort of maintenance, really. It's one of these things on these big V6s. You have to take the inlet off to be able to get to anything. Coil packs, spark plugs, you know, so really it's like part of a service. That probably has been off a few times in its life, hopefully. Again, keeping all the bolts and nuts separate, so you know exactly what you're doing.
It's warm.
It is warm, isn't it?
Yeah. What did that?
Feel some warmth. Keep your hands warm. Right. Now you want to be a little bit delicate. I mean, you can just lift this off with it on. It's not a problem, but I always like to get it out of the way just to save any heartache and pain. Be gentle. Try and lift it nice and square. That's them bits off. Keep them out of the way. And they will go again. You're just looking around the outsides, making sure everything's off, all the brackets are off, all the hoses are off. Obviously this one, like I say, will take off as we lift. So let's see if I've undone everything. Well, it feels free. Gently, because there is a gasket under this as well. Gently. Ah, it's this. This happened last time as well. I know you shouldn't, but I'll just give that a slight bend out of the way. And that pulls free. And then you have that part. You see the split? Luckily, that goes all the way to there, so that will be fine, but I will have to keep my eye on that because it is split. Rubber does go hard, unfortunately. You know, it's a 22-year-old car now. Things going hot and cold constantly, do go brittle. But that's that, that's off. That's the intake plenum completely removed. So now that exposes the area what we need to work on. I believe this is a right-hand drive vehicle. So on the driver's side, cylinder 3, I believe, is this one, which is what's shown as our misfire. Obviously in America, it'll be passenger side, cylinder 3. Bank 1, bank 2. Remember the problem before was our bank 2 cam sensor. Another hint, these do not like using non-OE parts, especially cam and crank sensors. So I got my part from a motor part distributor, I ain't got to say their name. But it didn't like it, you know, it was causing me problems. I thought it was a cam phaser in the end. I thought we have to do a timing chain. And I spoke to a company who specialise in these cars and they said, no, you've got to use OE parts because it doesn't like them. So it's a lot more expensive, actually 3 times the price for an OE one, but with reason. Because as soon as I put that in, perfect, on the button, no problems. So make sure you're using OE spec or OE parts, Hitachi, etc. because it just cause you grief further down the line. To diagnose a coil pack, obviously I've still got to order these parts, but what I would like to do is we know it's cylinder 3. So technically, if I move this coil pack to a different place, plug it in, you know, just move it from cylinder 3 to cylinder 5 or whatever the firing order is, and then put it back together, code read it, and the problem moves to cylinder 5, then we know it's a coil pack. I'm 99.9% sure it's a coil pack, but we still have to diagnose before you start ordering parts and just, you know, being like a modern part fitter, which is you just throw parts at the vehicle until it solves the problem, which is not the way to do things because it's very expensive. Each one of these are like £45, and that's, you know, that's from a motor parts distributor. If you went to Nissan, I'm sure it's a lot more money. So let's get this one out, change its location, see if the fault changes its location. If so, then we know to order a coil pack. Also, whilst I'm here, I am going to take the plugs out of the car and check all of them because, again, as I've said a million times in previous videos, this car was sat for 5 years and I don't know its history. It didn't come with any paperwork, so I don't know if the plugs have ever been done or what they look like. So we're gonna change the location of that, take all of the plugs out and just check everything, just have a look. It'll be fun, come along.
What you do is just take the audio out of there. Move this bracket here. Again, keep all of your nuts and bolts separate so you don't get them confused. That gets that out of the way. So we know that this is bank 3. This is the one causing us problems. A little bit fiddly, but we will get there. Yeah, they really didn't have the consumer in mind when building this engine, that's for sure. definitely not us mechanics. Yeah, there we go. Right, here's your coil pack. I believe this is the problem, but I could be mistaken. It looks like it's original, but I don't know. We'll see. So let's get the rest of them out, and then I can change the location of this one, get the rest of them out, get the plugs out, and then when I put them back, I can obviously put this in a different place. And if the fault moves, we know it's the coil pack. If it doesn't, I'm gonna cry. Things like this get in the way. So what you wanna do is use some sort of prying tool. Make sure it hasn't got a clip on it, which it probably has. Get that out of the way. Luckily we didn't break it, look at that. Same again here. Actually, I'm just going to remove that whole bracket. In most cars, it really isn't this hard to get the coil packs out, really. You'll open the bonnet, there'll be a little cover over the top. And some cars are not individual coil packs, like on, I don't know, a Z-Tech engine or something. You've actually got a whole coil pack, you know, and same as on the Vauxhall engines. But on these, they're individual, which takes a little bit more time, but do exactly the same job. Loose. And the final one, which is buried, and that gives us some space to get things out. All right, so start on that side so I can go 1, 3, 5, etc, etc, etc. Nice. So again, like to put them in order so you know where they are. So 1, 3, and then I'll put 5 there, bank 1, and bank 2. Same thing again, okay? Disconnect the plug like so. Ah, see, they're odd. This one's an NGK, so that probably doesn't help. See? I mean, it's only different branding, but as you can see on these ones, they might be original. You're probably not going to pick that up on the camera, you know, but that one is not. Or this one is original and these ones ain't, I don't know. We shall see. If you do have to take the brackets right away, then I always leave the bolts in them, so you know exactly where it came from. Again, saving yourself what I call a ball ache. Again, see, this one isn't NGK. So I'm gonna guess that these are original and the NGK one is one that has been replaced.
Got 3 different types so far.
Yeah, mental, isn't it?
Blank one, NGK, and what looks like Federal.
See, what I would like to do is, you know, if I was going to change one of them, ideally I would change all of them.
At the same time.
You know, it's, you know, it's all uniform, you ain't getting different signals. It's just the correct way of doing things, but it is an expensive way of doing things. And that's it. That's all the coil packs out. So I've kept them all in order. Like I say, well, George pointed out, there is 3 different types of coil pack in the vehicle. You know, I understand it for money saving, but it does make me lose sleep at night. So now we've got all of them, they're all lined up exactly. We know the order that they come out. We know that this is 3, which is, I believe, the issue. So we will swap that with another one. But for now, I just want to check the plugs. Like I said, they might not never have been out. So let's take them out and have a look. Another thing I should have done earlier is block these ports, because it's making me very anxious about dropping a bolt or a socket into the engine, and if that happens, it is catastrophic, tearing the whole thing down, taking the top half of the engine apart, which I don't want to do. So just going to block them up, and now my anxiety is cured.
So let's get the plugs out.
They are a 10mm spark plug socket. We start here. A little trick for extracting spark plugs, if you haven't got a spark plug socket with the rubber grommet inside of it, is get a length of like garden hose or vacuum pipe hose about sort of this diameter, and then you can just put that down in the ball, push it over the diode top of the plug, and you can just pull the plug out. I learned that when I was a kid, but hopefully they come out just like that. What plugs are they? Right, so they're NGKRs. Don't know if that's original. Nice biscuity colour, that means that's a good burn. So that looks all right. 5 to go. I mean, I'm a little bit OCD, you haven't got to be this, you know, they'll do the same thing, it doesn't really matter. But I just like to put things back where I found them. Oh, not me like that. That looks a little bit cruddy, doesn't it?
A bit darker.
A bit darker. You see like the crap around it as well. Wow.
Surprised it's still running.
Same plugs though, still an NGKR, sorry. But yeah, that doesn't look fantastic. So I will be ordering a set of plugs for it as well. So we'll be getting a coil pack and a set of plugs. That's a nice burn. That's good. A little bit oily, which could indicate a rocker cover gasket leaking. Again, same plugs. That's a good one. That's how we like it. It shouldn't be that tight. Spark plugs, you should, you know, do it by hand and then a little quarter turn with a ratchet, just nip it up. Again, a good burn. That's nice. A nice biscuit colour. Oh, torch is dying. That means hurry up. Yeah, that's good. Now this is our problem cylinder. So if I pull this out and the plug is destroyed or oily, something, you know, it might not be sparking, or there's definitely an issue somewhere. It's not bad. So I'm gonna hazard a guess and say my estimation was correct and it is the coil pack, because that's burning well. So if it was an injector, you know, it would be like a burnt white where it'd be running very lean, but that's biscuit coloured. And the fault is intermittent as well, because if it was a permanent fault, it would be a spark plug or it would be an injector, but it's very intermittent, and that to me says coil pack. So good news up to yet. But there is still one more to go and it could be disastrous, so, you know. Prepare. I don't know if I've introduced Barry, everyone, but that's Barry over there. Say hello, Barry.
Hello, Barry.
Barry helps me out, he's a legend. Ex-RAF, now retired. He still thinks he's in there though, so. He's a good lad. And you see what I mean? Why the last one could be disastrous. Look how oily that is. Still a good biscuit colour though, so we know it's burning well. I just believe that on both banks of the engine, the rocker cover gasket is leaking, and that's what's, you know, what's tracking down threads. Could cause a little bit of smoke here and there. It'd be like a bluey grey colour when it's burning oil. It's not horrendous because none of the other plugs were fouled. It was just the two very back of the engine plugs. But again, biscuit coloured burn. So we know on a whole, she's running nice. All of the plugs match. They're all NGKRs, all the same numbers. So let's put everything back together. Change the location of cylinder 3 coil pack to, I don't know, I'm going to probably put it either cylinder 5 or one on this side. And if the fault moves, we know 100% it's that. I know it's that, but you know, just for, this is how you diagnose a coil. Well, this is how I diagnose a coil pack anyway. So yeah, let's do that. Let's move everything, put it back together. You haven't got to do this. Like I say, they are being replaced, but it just feels ill-mannered of me to put them back without at least giving them a little spritz, you know. So I like to just clean them up and put them back in. 5 more of them to go, so come back, that'll all be done. Put all the coil packs back in, start bolting it back together. This is the worst one though, look at that.
What's that?
I don't know. Looking further at this plug, it actually looks like this has started to break down. The diode on the end looks very blunt. I'm not gonna put this back in the engine. I'm gonna leave it stripped like this. We know it's a coil pack. I'll prove that when we put it back together, but this is another problem altogether, and it's the only plug like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the bits ordered, new coil pack, set of plugs, and new proper boot struts,
the window regulators and the wheel bearing. And when all them bits come in, you'll see us fitting it all. So that's fantastic news. Yep, new plugs are in. Waited over a week for all the parts. So the plugs are in, just putting the coil packs back on. Then we can rebuild under the engine bay and test it out and see if my theory was correct.
Is that everything that came in the kit?
These are all just the old bolts, these ones.
You just sorted them.
Preferably would have come with some new bolts, but you know, we get what we're given. Simple as. Yep, these ones will do. These little Japanese cars, you've got to have little Japanese hands, haven't you? She's on. Right, last plug, if I can find it. Which is that one. Get that one plugged in. Wunderbar. Right, now we just notch them all up. You don't want to over tighten these sort of things, you just want to nip them. So nip, nip, nip. Same again.
Squeaky fix.
Yeah. Nip, nip, and nip. Right. So now we are up to a standard of putting the manifold back on and then trying to start the car and crying when it doesn't. Are you ready for the noise? Ready for satisfaction?
Go on. Don't think you would have got that.
Nah, we got
It was so quiet, I bet you heard it.
a little bit anticlimactic. That. Right, now let's start bolting it back together. Obviously, it's just the reverse of taking it apart. So we want to start with this bad boy. Make sure the gasket's okay before we start delving in. It looks okay. She will go again. I mean, I do this in a little bit of a star pattern, if you'd like to call it that. You haven't necessarily got to, but I like to. It's just, as you would say, good practice, I suppose. But again, I don't really think it's a necessity. Yeah, like doing a head gasket. That's how you would do a cylinder head. So it all sits down flush. Yeah. Get it on there. Alright, that's all of that. Get yourself your grips.
Heavy.
My favourites. Get that on there. Exactly where it was when we took it off. Before you start bolting it down, I always try and get the hoses back on first because they can be a little bit of a pain otherwise. And we're going to have
Full custody of the hose.
That's it, this hose on there. Plug back in, and you're always looking for that satisfying click when you come into electrical connectors. If it doesn't click, it probably hasn't located. So just make sure it's on there. You know, give it a little tug. That's what she said. And make sure everything's connected properly, otherwise you're going to have issues.
You're in a good mood today, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in a good mood. It's going back together.
I can tell, yeah.
I'm in a good mood. She's getting rebuilt. This car has been sat on my ramp for over a week waiting for parts. I have done 7 jobs off of the floor. My back feels like it is broken. Spinal. There's a lot going on. So today's a good day.
It's like a relief, like a reward.
Oh, it's just, I'll get my ramp back. 2 nuts. I always start with the nuts. Maybe I just like nuts, who knows?
Squirrel.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly that.
It's like calling you Alvin.
Yeah. Well, Alvin's a chipmunk.
I don't fucking know.
Nothing's gone wrong yet, so everyone's probably bored. It's when something, you know, snap.
So you hear the extra click of that shit.
It's entertaining for you, a nightmare for me. So that's the inlet back on. That's the plenum on. Obviously just got to do a couple of silly little brackets and stuff. And then we'll get the intake pipe on, MAF sensor, put that back together, put the engine cover on it, strut brace, and see if it starts. If it starts, we'll get it up in the air, gearbox oil, diff oil. I've already done the boot struts as well. Come on, are you ready?
Oh yeah. It'll be brand spanking new.
There you go. She now stays up. It's no longer a guillotine. Fantastic. Job done. Let's get a couple of these little brackets bolted down. One there, one there. 3 brackets to go back on. Intake pipe, airbox, engine cover, strut brace.
You seen those miniature engines you can get?
Yeah, they're cool, aren't they? I just lost
Yeah.
the bolt.
Did you actually?
Yeah. Pinged out like a spring.
Oh fuck.
Oh, it's right down there in the valley. Can you see it?
Wait, let's see if...
Look.
Oh, there it is. Oh
I don't
no.
think I've got a magnet either.
Oh, do you not?
Oh no, I might be able to go through here though, look.
He's not gonna have a magnet.
That's a magnet. On a torch, but it's a magnet. And it's telescopic, what you saying?
It's fucking surgery.
Voila.
Look at that. That's what we almost lost.
Yes, that was close.
Trust me, this is gonna happen a lot more.
What? It's gonna happen a lot.
I may not have a brain instrument, but I have an idea. You seen that reference?
Is that a hold my beer idea? One of them. Next,
Here come the big guns.
this bad boy. Right, again.
Someone
obviously-
outside definitely thought that was a horror.
thought it was the boats. Right, so you want to get this
Nobody's coming back.
back line. Get that on there first, otherwise you're going to be fighting. Get that on, like Lightning McQueen.
Get your arm.
That's it. There we go. She goes in. Oh, this one. Now, I learnt this mistake myself. Put the engine cover on before the strut brace, because the strut brace sits there, and you can't get to those. So put that back on as well.
Do I remember that?
Remember that.
As annoying as it is.
Yep. That's that on there. Lovely. We've got one more job to do under here before we can lift the car up. Do you know what it is?
No.
Brand new battery.
Brand new battery.
Yeah.
Lovely SMR once again.
Get it on.
Ooh.
That was cross-threaded, but we wound it in anyway. Send it home, they say. Send it
See,
home.
you see this little guy right here? He ain't going nowhere.
It's not going nowhere.
He's been welded in
That's
place.
not going anywhere ever again, yeah. Window regulators.
Finally.
Wheel bearing.
Beautiful.
Gearbox oil, I believe. Yeah, gear oil.
Don't drink that.
Diff oil.
Definitely don't drink that.
Battery. This is the next thing on the list.
What's the weight of that then?
Not really about 10.
I'm not even going to bother.
Can I get this out without removing the scuttle panel? No chance.
No.
No chance.
Before and after.
Yeah. Love fresh stuff. Green light.
You can see them.
If you look in there, you might be able to see that it's red.
No, there's no light coming.
No, you see that one though.
Oh yeah.
Green.
Yeah, you can see that ever so slight tint.
Green for good. You'll pick
It's gonna
up.
go from a seasonal video to fucking tutorial for dummies.
Educational
Just because
videos. It's the new college, the College of Pels Performance.
That's got a good ring to it, can't it?
Yeah, man, it's cool, isn't it?
Like and subscribe if you want to see that.
Exactly. Stay on. Without you guys, this channel would be nothing. It's pointless. Bear with me, I'm new. So, there we go. Should we try and start it? See what happens.
Beautiful.
Looks like it's missing a bit though. Definitely misfiring.
Yeah, you can hear it.
That could be down to me plugging something in the wrong way though. I might have plugged one of the coil packs in the wrong way around.
You reckon?
No engine management light though.
Let's have a look. What we saying, boss?
Could be that the plugs are on the wrong way around. I might have plugged it in the wrong way around. We'll see. We'll see what if it still says cylinder 3 misfire, then we know that's an injector or something, and I'm gonna have to take it apart again.
We've taken that off just to swap over the
Shit.
Yeah.
This is why the engine management light's on, because the MAF sensor ain't on.
yeah. We just went and swapped them over,
Yep.
but that's all we had to do. We're good. We're good.
Well, there'll definitely be codes where I unplug the MAF sensor, the car's just pretty much shit itself, do you know what I mean? So I just need to clear everything. And there we go. No lights. Sorted.
Definitely sounds healthier.
Better, innit? Let's
get it up in the air then and do the wheel bearing and stuff. Now, time for the wheel bearing. Everything under the bonnet sorted, obviously minus the genuine cam sensor. Get the wheel off, get the hub off, new wheel bearing, and then it's going to be gearbox oil and diff oil. And for now, that'll be the end of this video until we start modifying.
Dandy, dandy.
Tray.
Very light compared to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, compared to an X6 wheels. Right, caliper off.
Rusty.
Yeah.
Something called Rusties.
Not great. You got there. That has to come off. Whew. That's the integral handbrake. Shoes alright, aren't they?
Little update.
That's it, she's out.
She's out.
So now I've just got to go and get this pressed out of the original bearing, pressed into that one, put it all back together. Putting all the brakes back together, wheel bearings on. Obviously the diff is filling up with oil, the gearbox has been drained and refilled. So just putting the handbrake shoes back on and start bolting this all back together.
What they call that? 350Z dust.
Just going to torque that wheel up to make sure that don't fall off. So that's 110 plus 2. Yeah. That's it. So, shut this down.
Shut that down.
Let's go and test it.
Yeah.
Go.
There we go.
You've got to keep an ear out for the wheel bearing.
Yeah. If we hear something that's not supposed to
If you
happen.
hear something going, then you know what it is. Let's listen out for this bearing. Can't hear it.
I can't hear anything now. Either.
I think I've got away with it.
I think we have.
I think I've got away with it.
I think we've got away with it.
I think we've got away with that, mate.
I think that noise is just the rain coming
Yeah,
through.
just the rain on the road. I think
Yeah.
it's alright.
1 to 10, how would you rate your thing?
Definite 8.
Yeah?
8, yeah.
Happy with the work?
Happy with the work. So with mine.
What was that? That's episode 3?
Episode 3 done.
Episode 3 done. We've,
So
yeah.
what you got to do is join us next time. Like, subscribe, comment, all of that sort of stuff. And next it'll be, you know, throwing some modifications on it. If that wheel bearing is dead, obviously I'll be doing that again. But looks like we got away with it. So yeah, thank you again.